Let's bring in LT to the show. It is great to have him on. And by the way, you know what I'm thinking this morning? When I'm driving to work and I'm seeing John Gruden, LaDainian, seeing John Gruden say, no, we're going to move on and get draft picks. And my takeaway is, okay, John Gruden is sort of an emperor. Even Belichick has to answer to Kraft. Nick Saban had to answer to the media. Gruden now doesn't answer to anybody. He's got more power. The owner gave him a 10-year contract, so even if the owner gave John crap, he'd be like, you owe me $100 million. I think they've almost given Gruden too much power. That's what it feels like to me.
It's about him.
It's about him.
It's about him. And you need players to win games, and he's going to find that out very quickly. And, you know, what happened to the days of drafting a guy, developing a guy to be the best guy, a player in the National Football League, and then paying that guy? What happened to those days? All of a sudden, you know, you switch coaches and you have no dialogue. If that was the quarterback, if it was Derek Carr, John Gruden would have reached out to him immediately and said, hey, new coach now, come talk to me. This is your best player we're talking about. How do you not reach out to him and say, hey, let's start a dialogue. What are the issues? How can I help you? We want you to be here for a long time. You don't even call the guy.
By the way, the Rams with Aaron Donald were reportedly talking to his people or Aaron every day. Like the Rams were like, we know it looks bad in the press, but apparently, according to reports I read this weekend, the Rams were in constant communication with Aaron Donald. It sounds like Gruden there was no communication. And I wonder how it plays in the locker room. Listen, I wouldn't pay every defensive player a lot of money. It's an offensive league. Right. I've always said for years and years, I wouldn't pay wide receivers too much money. It's a perimeter player. I like around the football. Further you get from the football, I don't want to pay guys. But once you get the quarterback right and the offensive line right, generally NFL teams are looking for pass rushers.
Yeah.
I mean, Khalil Mack to me is a once-in-a-decade guy. You'll never get another. I mean, I could say this. The Raiders will never have a pass rusher as talented as Khalil Mack for a decade.
The guy made the all-pro team in both positions. Like, when has that ever been done? Are you kidding me? And he stabilizes everything on that defense. You close out games in the fourth quarter with pass rushers. We did it when my time with the Chargers, even my time with the Jets. We had pass rushers that closed out games for us. And who else do they have? I can't answer that question. Who is the other pass rusher on that team besides Bruce Irvin?
Bruce Irvin.
Okay.
Okay. So he's going to have a hell of a year. Okay, so you played with the Chargers and the Jets. Sam Darnold was named starting quarterback for the Jets. And we were talking amongst ourselves this morning, and I said this, LaDainian. Guys that have succeeded in New York, think about this. Jeter, Eli, Phil Simms, Aaron Judge. And I start naming guys. Mariano Rivera. What? In a city that generates its own energy and excitement, they're able to say, I don't need that. When a city provides excitement, New York, Miami, New Orleans, I need a grown-up that can handle that. To me, it's not about Sam Darnold's arm. It's not about his college career. I think he fits New York City. He's a grown-up. He'll handle. On his 21st birthday, he's like, I didn't drink a beer. I had practice the next day. You played in New York, so you were a veteran by that time.
Yeah.
But did you watch some players unravel in New York?
Absolutely. I mean, because of the bright lights, and New York City is the mecca of sports. I mean, every athlete, no matter what they tell you, wants to play in New York at one point or another because of the bright lights and everything that goes with it, the media attention. And you're right, Sam Darnold is the perfect guy for this. He's an introvert, much like Eli Manning, so nothing will get to them. He's not going to be impressed by, going to Broadway plays or, going out on the town in New York City. And he's not going to be impressed by that.
But a lot of guys are.
Right.
You were on a Jets team.
Well, yeah, and it depends on what your values are, what you care about. And to me, even as Sam Darnold is going to be the youngest quarterback to ever start for a franchise day one, he's a professional already. And the greatest compliment you can give any player is to call him a professional. And so far, at a young age, he's already considered a pro.
It's interesting. Saquon Barkley for the Giants, we're going to see him now. And how you were when you broke into the league, what was your size, your weight?
I was 5'10 and a half, 221.
Okay. So, and you could take the beating. I mean, you carried the ball. I mean,
My first year, I had 350 carries or so.
Oh, my God.
Norv Turner was offense coordinator.
Oh, good Lord. So you took a beating and bounced back. Here's my concern, though, and this is interesting, LaDainian, because not many people can talk about this. You were the perfect size, shape. You were hard to get a shot on. Most running backs are not tall. Eric Dickerson's rare.
Yeah.
I look at Saquon Barkley. And when I watch this video of you right here, I'm like, look at those legs. You were hard to get a shot on. So you could withstand 27 carries.
Mm-hmm.
I look at Saquon Barkley. I don't see that. I see a 16 carry. Take me to the psychology of taking that 30 carries, that beating, how it wears you down and how you withstood it.
Yeah. Actually, Colin, it becomes a mental game because early in my career, think about my college career, I ran on the perimeter a lot. I wasn't used to running up inside between the tackles. When Marty Schottenheimer got there, his favorite play was power, up the middle. And my mom used to always call and say, why does this man keep running you up the middle? You're not that big. And I had to change my mindset. I had to change my mindset to say, okay, coach wants it in the middle. I'm going to change my game from being a perimeter guy to saying, okay, I'll stick it up inside. So it really becomes a mental thing. A running back can adjust to being that type of runner depending on the offense. I don't think Saquon is going to need to do that. That's not the offense that he's going to be in.
So Pat Shurmur will get him outside.
He's going to, like he did with Dalvin Cook. He's going to get him on the perimeter. He's going to use him in a pass game. He's not going to need to take all those punishing blows inside between the tackles.
Yeah. Le'Veon Bell is a holdout. He's very, very good. Do you get defensive because running backs probably take a bigger beating than any player in the league? And so when I talk to running backs always defend running backs. They're like, hey, receivers aren't taking these shots. Quarterbacks aren't taking these shots. Does it bother you the Steelers won't just pay up?
Yeah, it does bother me because I feel like he's overperformed his contract, the rookie contract, a long time ago. He overperformed that. And so now, the Steelers are saying, oh, well, the age thing. It's funny how teams bring up the age thing when it's time to pay a running back. But when you use him and use him up, then all of a sudden it's okay. You got your value and what you wanted to get out of the guy, but you never paid him. It's the same situation to me, what we just talked about with Khalil Mack. You draft this player to become one of the best players in the National Football League, and all of a sudden you don't want to pay him because you're talking about, oh, he's getting up in age and carries and all those things, but yet this year might be his last year, and you're going to run him into the ground because you're just going to wash your hands with him and say, thank you for your service, Le'Veon. It's just not fair to me.
LaDainian Tomlinson. By the way, this Friday, a movie premieres. You play, acting debut for you. You play a pastor in a small town in Kentucky. God Bless the Broken Road. Let's play a clip.
Do you see all those empty seats around you? Those are missing brothers and sisters. Love calls us to bring them home. They need to know that God is not done with them, that He has not abandoned them. God wants them to come back to Him. And if they are willing to turn to Him with just the tiniest seed of faith.
You know what I guarantee you? You have the best yards per carry of any pastor in American church history. I can assure you, nobody's averaged more yards per carry. Hi, everybody. Thanks for watching. Subscribe here to get the latest from the show. Also, be sure to check out more of the best clips from The Herd or go watch a few segments from other shows on FS1.